In Black Hawk Rescue Mission 5, there's multiple guns that are present in the game, like, always. But I feel like one gun that is kind of glossed over across all of the rest and isn't really mentioned much is the C7A2. And today I kind of want to talk about this as as you know, it's Stallion Canada made it. Not probably in real life, but in the game, and also in the game it says it's a standard rifle for Canada's forces. So it's that, and because I have a Canadian loadout, this one right here, I kind of want to talk about this gun. Maybe see how it is, and also I just want to see if it's actually any good, because you never know if it is good, because it is pretty reminiscent. In fact, it pretty much just is the M16A2, but it seems slightly bigger and obviously does not have the carry handle of the M16A2. So yeah, we're gonna start off right here. So the gunfire is 5.56 NATO. So it's pretty similar to a lot of the NATO round firing guns, like the in fact the AUG, the FAMAS, this gun, the C7, L83, L85. They all pretty much have the exact same performance because they fire 5.56. So if you are getting any of these guns, like any of the 5.56 firing guns, they're all like really similar. Like heck, even they're all really similar. But we're not talking about them. We're talking about this gun, the C7A2. So the C7A2, obviously with the A2, it's based off the M16A2, derived from the M16 as it says, and obviously this is made from Canada, and is Canada's standard service rifle. So we're gonna look at the stock. This gun, the big thing about this gun though is that a lot of it's not all that customizable. Now its cousin over here is also not that customizable. You can only really change the butt stock, which is the AR, like the AR-15 one. Now you can't change the grip. Obviously, handguard slide, you can only change the M5 RAS, and this is M5 RAS is kind of like the only reason. Like, if you're gonna stick with the M16A2, you really want this because it allows you to put on lasers and all that stuff, all your customizable stuff. Now the C7, you actually can't do that. I may be thinking that's like a bad thing, but you can put on a Picatinny rail on the bottom, so you can still have, like some of your attachments. The gun also has a triad of rails, so you can put on your flashlight, you can put on like a laser or something. So actually no, it doesn't seem like you can put on yeah, you can. Yeah, you can put on a laser. It looks a little bit big, but yeah, nah. But yeah, you can put on your lasers, all that stuff, which is pretty nice. Also, the big thing too is that it has a rail up here, an accessory rail, instead of just the M4 carrying handle, which is very nice because, not gonna lie, the iron sights on the M4 carrying handle aren't bad, but definitely having an optic is a little bit better. And optic wise, I use, for this gun, if you're wondering optic wise, I'll go into that later, but it's this one. Mostly just because it matches with the gun, but it is pretty good. Barrel you can't really customize. The muzzle device you can customize, so if you want to put on a suppressor, you can. I don't typically do that though. But yeah, overall it's like kind of more, because one would say, oh, it's a more customizable version of the M16A2. And on paper it is, but you can do all this stuff, and all of a sudden you have 4 rails right here, so you can put on a lot of stuff. Not to mention you can change the muzzle device. The only real thing that's kind of, in my eyes, holding back the M16A2 is that you can't really put on like all your optics. You can put on the ACOG optic, but like you can't really put on like the only thing really holding back this one is that you can't take off the carrying handle. But other than that, you can change like a lot of the stuff. You can change all that because of the this, you can really change it. So you may be thinking that the M16A2 is better than the C7A2. However, and the reason why I'm comparing these two guns is because they're practically the same gun, just slightly different. The main thing that the C7A2 has going for it is that it's full auto. It's a full auto gun. Is it like some fast full auto? Pretty reasonable, pretty good. Which, yeah, and also it has a good reload time, has an nice empty reload time. And overall, the damage is pretty similar to other 5.56 firing guns, which is nice. So overall, customization and also comparing it to these guns, it is good, but to really find out if it's good, we're gonna have to test it. So I'm gonna equip it up for battle. I'm gonna show you what I use. So for optic, I use the C79A2 because A, I think it was made for this gun, and B, just matches really well. It's also a pretty nice optic. For muzzle device, I keep it the same. However, I do put on the flashlight. I don't really bother with the laser, even though I have one. I put on a Picatinny rail down here to get a what are they called? Oh, switching up. But yeah. And then because you can't really do much else, this is just kind of what's left at. So yeah, we're gonna go out and we're gonna use actually. I'm not gonna put on. I'm only gonna put on. This is what I usually do. That there, and then I put on the But yeah. Alright. We're gonna be looking out into battle with this thing. Quick play in Iranograd. Hopefully I get good ping because, alright, it's looking pretty bad. Actually, not. No, it ain't too bad. Alright, so I think for this, we're gonna need to go to Department of Utilities to then, underrated. By the way, a nice optic. Pretty sweet optic overall. Is nice. I'm gonna tag along with this guy. Let's make this quiet. Alright. I don't have a suppressor on my gun except for my Glock, so alright, yeah. We gonna move? Or are we waiting for those two gentlemen? I'm blending in. Okay, so far this gun's really good. Shoot. Getting mortared. Okay, we're in heal. This, so far, I think there's 2 guys over here. I'm just gonna heal up a bit more. Hope I do not get mortared. Frick. That guy's gonna absolutely rail for us. Here, chopper coming. That might be there, no, that's friendly. Shoot. Bro, you're friendly, bro. Dude, that guy's friendly. This thing has some nice range. Dude. To be fair though, my armor just, my uniform does kind of look like Soviet anymore. I don't blame the guy for shooting me, but I feel like it's friendly. Yo. Okay. That's friendly, so... This is gonna be the kill box. Alright, this is where we're gonna truly test the gun, because down here is usually an absolute kill center. Yeah, okay. You know, that's 100% me. Wait, how did I... Oh wait, he's probably holding the thing. Alrighty. Well, overall, I'd say that the C7A2 is definitely a good gun. I definitely find that's pretty good. However, I do have a little bit of some things to say. For it being level 16, there are a fair amount of other 5.56 guns that are options. Like there's the AK-101, there's the AK-101, there's the FAL. Did I say FAL? Yeah. There's the M4. So I think, and besides, also too, at the same level you get at level 16, you could get the M4, and the M4 is a pretty good and very customizable gun. It has some very similar stats to the C7A2. So I think overall this, like, well, yes, the C7A2 is a good, like, it's good. I think it's pretty good. Compared to its options, I feel like there's better, more customizable options. But still, I think it's a pretty solid gun. And if you're like me and you're trying to nail a Canadian Army loadout, you know, it's good because it's, well, the Canadian Army standard issue rifle, which makes sense. But anyways, it's probably gonna wrap up today's video. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and yeah, goodbye.